Bonjour et bienvenue au monde de Michela. Derrière moi, il y a une toile que j'avais peinte il y a à peu près 17 ans d'un phare qui se trouve à la Chine, sur l'île de Montréal, dans la province de Québec, où j'ai vécu pendant 22 ans, à Laval ainsi qu'à Montréal. Aujourd'hui, je vais vous préparer un repas délicieux, quelque chose de classique de la province du Québec qui s'appelle la tourtière. C'est avec de la viande de porc, du veau et du bœuf dans une pâte absolument délicieuse. Je vais vous faire montrer comment on fait ça. Également, je vais préparer des légumes à la béchamel. Alors venez avec moi à ma cuisine pour qu'on puisse commencer. Now, nothing can be easier than making pie crust for tourtière. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of ice-cold butter, cubed. Pulse for about 4 minutes. Add 1/4 of a cup of water, ice-cold water. Add the content to cling film. Separate the dough into 2 parts. One part a little bit bigger than the other. This is going to be the bottom of the pie crust, and this is going to be the top. And into the refrigerator for 3 hours. While the dough is in the refrigerator, we're going to prepare the pie filling. You want to chop your onions finely, like this. You want your celery diced finely as well. The equivalent of 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Pour in the onions and the celery. Cover and allow them to sweat. Here I have a 1/2 kilo of pork and 1/4 kilo of veal and beef. You can always omit the pork and use just beef. If you don't want veal, you don't have to use that either, but that's what the recipe calls for. Once the meat has cooked like this, it's time to add the spices. 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of crushed cloves, 1 teaspoon of crushed allspice, 1/2 teaspoon of coarse black pepper, 2 grated garlic cloves, and a small medallion the size of 1/4 of ginger, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Stir. I save the salt for last because I always like to know how salty things get before I add more salt. There is salt in the Dijon mustard as well. Finally, add a cup of beef stock. And mix. Cover and allow this to simmer on low until the beef breaks down. Add 1 medium-sized grated potato to the meats. The starch from the potatoes is going to help to thicken the sauce. If you can only smell the aroma of this, it is unbelievable. See how the sauce has thickened thanks to the potatoes? The filling is ready. Now turn off the heat and let it cool down to room temperature. To accompany the tourtière, I'm going to make a nice vegetable medley with Béchamel sauce. I'm going to cut florets of cauliflower, one onion, 3 cloves of garlic, one small potato cut into thin slices, place all the vegetables in a steamer, and steam for about 20 minutes. While our vegetables are steaming, we're going to make a nice bechamel sauce. This is approximately 5 tablespoons of butter. Add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Melt the flour into the butter and create a nice creamy texture. Add 2 cups of whole milk. Bring to a boil, stirring constantly. Add a teaspoon of salt, black pepper, and some nutmeg. Mix. Once the milk has come to a boil, add 100 grams of grated Parmesan. Bring to a simmer and mix the Parmesan into the milk. Add the garlic into the bechamel and mix. Absolutely delicious. Your oven is preheated at 350 degrees. Pour the bechamel sauce all over the vegetables. Add a couple of beaten eggs into this mixture and mix well. Add fresh spinach. I had almost forgotten to add the spinach, so now I'm adding 2 more eggs, and I added a teaspoon of salt into the eggs. And now I'm going to pour it all over and mix everything again really well. I added Gouda cheese to the vegetables, but you can add cheddar or Gruyere or whatever cheese that you like. Put it in the oven, and when the cheese melts, you can turn it up a little bit and make the cheese go golden brown. Take out the dough from the refrigerator about 15 minutes before you're ready to roll it out. This will prevent the dough from bubbling. And into the oven it goes, covered. And the reason I do this is it ensures that my bottom crust is not going to be soggy. My pie crust is now out of the oven. To the oven it goes for 45 minutes. Check this out. Does that look delicious or what? A lovely fresh salad to go with our meal. All right, friends, are you ready? Check out this beautiful tourtière. Now we just have to let it cool down before we cut it. How appetizing is this? And now for the taste test. So delicious, this medley of vegetables in the Béchamel sauce. This tourtière is out of this world. The crunch of this crust is unbelievable and so delicious. Try it and let me know how it worked out. I hope you enjoyed this video making French Canadian tourtière. It was absolutely delicious. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you again with more recipes from Michela's World. Take care. Au revoir. And into the oven it goes for 45 minutes.